Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to try and get right to the heart of how information, specifically a story, can literally save a life.
Exactly, and not just any story. We're looking at a foundational text. It's called The Merchant's Vow and the Three Tales of Mercy.
Which is the very first tale Scheherazade tells in the Thousand and One Nights.
It is. It's the story that set the stage, not just for saving the man in the story, but for saving her own life and the lives of so many others after her.
And our goal here isn't just to retell it. We really want to dissect the mechanism. How does this work? How can vengeance be completely overwritten by, an oath and three stories?
That's it. This isn't just a fantasy story. You have to see it as a kind of exploration of justice, of a contract. It shows you the absolute power of an oath, but also how a structured narrative can, well, literally rebalance the scales of life and death.
Okay, let's unpack this. So we have to start with the setup because the whole thing really hinges on this one moment of just incredible carelessness.
It really is the ultimate example of an unintended consequence. So you've got this merchant. He's honorable, he's rich, he's from Baghdad, a successful guy.
Right. And he's traveling, stops by a spring in the middle of nowhere, a moment of peace.
He pulls out some dates, and this is it. This is the moment. He eats them, and then he carelessly flicks the pits away.
Without a thought. I mean, it's the kind of thing you or I would do 100 times.
But the consequence is instantaneous and terrifying. The ground doesn't just rumble, it splits open. Black smoke comes pouring out.
A pillar of smoke, the source says. And out of it forms this genie. Colossal, terrifying. Skin as black as midnight, eyes like burning coals.
And he's holding a scimitar. This is not a creature you negotiate with. This is judgment.
And his charge is immediate. You killed my son.
Yes. And how? One of those date pits. It flew through the air, struck the genie's son, who was invisible, sleeping nearby, right in the eye, and killed him.
So on the one hand, the merchant is technically guilty of murder, but on the other...
Zero intent. He was a complete accident. But for the genie, it's black and white. A life for a life. Vengeance.
The merchant, of course, is terrified. He pleads. He says he has a wife, kids, business to settle. He asks for a year.
And here's the first critical point. The genie actually agrees, but he demands something in return. A sacred vow.
A solemn oath.
A solemn oath. The merchant has to swear by Allah, the Prophet, everything sacred, that he will return to this exact spot, on this exact day, at this exact hour, 1 year from now, to be executed.
And the gravity of this promise is everything. He goes home and he doesn't try to escape. He settles his affairs. He prepares for death.
Because, as the source makes very clear, his conviction is that a broken oath is worse than death.
That's the key.
That is the absolute structural key.
Yeah.
His integrity has to be stronger than his survival instinct. By agreeing to come back, he validates the contract. He creates a window of opportunity for mercy. Without that honor, none of the rest could happen.
And so he returns. A year later, down to the hour. The genie is there, waiting.
Scimitar raised. The merchant bows his head. It's over.
But it's not. This is the exact moment the system kicks in.
This is where the trial by story begins. Just as the blade is about to fall, an old sheik appears.
And he's leading a gazelle on a golden chain.
And he introduces this incredible idea, the concept of narrative as a currency, a way to pay off a blood debt.
He doesn't just ask for a pardon, he offers a deal, a structured negotiation.
Exactly. He says, I'll tell you a strange tale. If you like it, if you're impressed, you have to forgive 1/3 of the merchant's blood guilt.
And the genie, maybe just out of curiosity, he agrees.
I think he's intrigued. And what's so brilliant here is this idea of fraction forgiveness. It's not all or nothing.
Right.
It allows the genie to move from absolute vengeance towards mercy in these deliberate, measurable steps. It lets him change his mind without losing his authority.
So what's the first story about?
Well, the story immediately establishes this theme of transformation and human failure. The sheik explains that the gazelle is actually his cousin.
His cousin?
Yes. He had transformed her into a gazelle using sorcery, driven by his own jealousy. He eventually repented, turned her back, but she remained, well, part gazelle as a permanent consequence.
So jealousy, magic, and a lasting consequence.
Precisely. And the genie is moved by it. He grants the first third of the pardon. The merchant is still doomed, but the system works.
The proof of concept is there, and now we see the pattern repeat.
Right on cue, a second old sheik arrives. This time he's leading 2 fierce black hounds.
And he offers another story for another third of the debt.
And the second tale just deepens the theme. It moves from jealousy to to cold, hard greed.
Yeah.
The hounds, he reveals, were his own treacherous brothers.
His brothers. Wow.
They tried to kill him for his wealth, so he used magic to turn them into beasts as their punishment.
So the moral crime is escalating. It's not just a crime of passion anymore. It's calculated betrayal between family.
Exactly. And the cumulative weight of these stories of human corruption, it's working. The genie grants the second third of forgiveness.
We're 2/3 of the way there, but that final third is still hanging over him.
It's the hardest part. And for that, a third sheikh arrives. He's with a woman of, the source says, breathtaking beauty.
And he promises the strangest tale of all for that final piece of the merchant's life. This is the climax.
And this story hits the deepest, most intimate betrayal of all, spousal betrayal.
Oh, wow.
The sheikh explains that his own wife used black sorcery to turn him into an ape.
An ape?
An ape.
Yeah.
She stole his fortune and then tried to have him killed.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate violation of trust.
So what happened to him?
He escaped, managed to kill the sorcerer who helped her, and restored his human form. But the consequence for his wife, the text says she was left forever scarred. The justice was permanent and visible.
And this is the story that does it.
This is the one. The source says the genie wept when he heard it. That image of this massive, powerful demon weeping over a story of human treachery. That's what finally humanizes him.
It's the key moment. He's not just intrigued anymore. He's emotionally overcome. He declares, "I forgive the merchant entirely."
And he says, why? Your oath and these 3 marvelous stories have saved your life. It's both things working together.
So let's zoom out here, because this is about more than just this one merchant. This story, this whole structure, it's Scheherazade's opening argument.
It's her proof of concept. Absolutely. She was facing the exact same problem. A king who had taken an oath of vengeance against all women, ready to execute her at dawn.
So she needed a system.
She needed a system to slowly, carefully walk him back from that ledge. She could just ask for mercy. She had to earn it piece by piece, story by story.
And this first tale showed her how. You need the subject to be honorable, which the merchant's oath proved. That opens the window.
And then you fill that window with layered thematic information, the 3 tales.
And the tales work because they aren't just pleas for pretty, they're case studies in human moral failure.
Right. The genie wants justice for an accidental death caused by human carelessness. The sheiks present him with 3 cases of deliberate, profound human malice: jealousy, greed, betrayal, and the transformative justice that followed.
So it forces the genie to recontextualize. His personal tragedy, born from an accident, suddenly looks very different next to these stories of calculated evil.
It allows him to ethically grant mercy to the merchant who, unlike the characters in the stories, demonstrated perfect honor. And that framework is what saved Scheherazade for 1001 Nights.
So if we distill this whole deep dive, the engine is clear. The merchant's life was saved by the integrity of his oath, which created the opportunity.
And the persuasive, cumulative weight of 3 stories that changed the judge's mind.
The final message seems to be one of hope. The merchant goes home, lives a long, grateful life.
Yes, the story seems to say the transformation is always possible. That, every oath kept and every story told can turn vengeance into mercy.
It's a powerful idea. But let's leave you with one final thought to mull over. The stories form this sort of justice curriculum for the genie, moving from jealousy up to this deep spousal treachery. Why did he weep at that third story? What was it about that final, most intimate betrayal that so profoundly broke through his own grief and rage? What deeper, unstated truth about loss did he recognize in that story that finally compelled him to give up his claim to vengeance entirely?
Thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.